الحمد لله وبه نستعين اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد. We thank Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for bringing us back here to listen to His guidance. And I urge my soul and your souls to have reverence for this book and this gentleman Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam. We shall not be guided until we visit the Quran and we live the life of Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam. This reminder today is so much connected to the men, the husbands. After Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala giving guidance last Jummah to our sisters, Allah guided our sisters in the guidance that He forwarded to the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam regarding his wives. When they started asking for more than they should have, for more than what the Prophet could put on the table, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala advised him, if the main focus is now to look at the embellishment of this dunya and have lost the focus of akhirah, then they cannot do the deen and they cannot live under servitude. So he said, Ya ayyuhan nabi, قل لأزواجك إن كنتن تردن الحياة الدنيا وزينتها فتعالين أمتعكن وأسرحكن سراحا جميلا. O Prophet of Allah, if your wives are intending to only look at the embellishment and the glitter and the gleam of this world and no more focus for akhirah, you give them the dunya and you let them loose. You let them get out of your house. And that was the guidance for the sisters. So we advise our sisters never to ask their husbands more than the scope, more than they can be able to provide, so that at least we can keep the bond of marriage intact, so that we rid ourselves from the fitna of women when their husbands exit their homes. But again, some men could become misinterpreters of the guidance, and they start to deny the women basing on those verses. So that's why today we wanted to guide the men also to balance the deen, because most of those sisters live under tyranny of some of the men. The mischief, the misconduct of some of us, and they don't have anywhere to complain. They die with their misery because they don't want to shame themselves. So the men keep on doing the mischief, without end. Why? Because no one can talk to me because I'm the boss of this home. And this incident that we are looking at from Surah Al-Mujadila, the beginning verse, you can go and read. When I come for Jummah, this is not a big lecture. It's just to give a reminder so that you can go and you begin to do your personal research. A woman by the name of Khawla bint Tha'laba came to the messenger complaining about the misconduct of the husband. And she complained, Ya Rasulullah, akala shababi. This man enjoyed my youthful stage. He married me when I was still young and attractive. Akala shababi. Then he enjoyed all that stage when I was as beautiful as any other good woman. وَنَسَبْتُ لَهُ بَطْنِي. I sacrificed my womb as a factory for his children. حَتَّى إِذَا كَبْرَتْ سِنِّي. When now I've lost the beauty and I'm now senile, I've lost because of the sacrifice that I've gone through. ظَاهَرَ مِنِّي. Now he wants to divorce me and let me lose. And the Prophet of Allah, because he was a friend to Aus bin Samit, he wanted to give in, his word, an intercession on behalf of Aus. So the Prophet was also trying to advise you, be patient. But the woman was, burning from inside. When she realized that maybe the messenger is trying to speak in favor of Aus, she directed the complaint to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allahumma inni ashku ilayk. Allah, is only you who can understand my plight. And then she continues to say that until Allah had to intervene in the matter immediately. And Jibril came with the verses. قَدْ سَمِعَ اللَّهُ. Allah has heard the complaint, the talk between you and that lady. قَدْ سَمِعَ اللَّهُ قَوْلَ الَّتِي تُجَادِلُكَ فِي زَوْجِهَا. Allah has heard the complaint she's complaining about the husband, and you're trying to also put your intercession. Wallahu yasma'u tahawurakuma. Allah is hearing the conversation between you two, but is most aware and is all seeing. So brothers, if you're married, don't misunderstand the guidance of your Creator and you incline towards your favors. If those verses come in your favors, alhamdulillah, this Jummah has been so good. We have to take responsibility ourselves, because those wives are under our service. We have to take care of them. Some of us, we don't really appreciate the fact that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has put those women under us. We are not doing our responsibility. We are misbehaving. We don't give them what they deserve to be given. Some of them don't understand where our money goes. After we use them, we get married to them when they're still attractive and young. But after they give birth to many of our children, they lose the body shapes, they lose the beauty, they become old, not attractive anymore, the stomachs and the tummies are bloated. Now you say, no, she's no longer beautiful, you want to exit. So you wiggle your way out. And you say, no, I'm going to divorce you. Any slight mistake is divorce. Any slight mistake is divorce. Why? Because you no longer get attracted to her anymore. You are comparing your wife with these young girls who have not gotten married yet. And their body shapes and attraction and whatever. You have failed to beautify your wife and make her attractive. And you are no longer remembering the sacrifice she's done to bear your own children. But understand that whatever complaints she have against you, Allah is directly in charge. And that's the guidance. She might not come to complain to the Imam. She might not complain to her family. But understand that every cry she's going through in your house, Wallahu yasma'u tahawurakuma. Inna Allaha sami'un basir. So don't misunderstand the words of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and the guidance of the Messenger sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Let's all be responsible. We want our sisters to be responsible, but the men, you must equally be responsible. Again, for those sisters. Do your best to make them happy in your homes, so that at least when the women are changing and the men are changing, everyone is fulfilling their responsibilities, we can get rid of the fitna, all of us together. واختاما أصلي وأسلم على سيدنا محمد حيث أمرنا الله مخبرا وآمرا إن الله وملائكته يصلون على النبي يا أيها الذين آمنوا صلوا عليه وسلموا تسليما اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد كما صليت على إبراهيم وآل إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد اللهم بارك على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما باركت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد وارض اللهم عن أئمة الحنفاء أبي بكر وعمر وعثمان وعلي وعن بقية الصحابة رضوان الله تعالى عليهم أجمعين اللهم ربنا أرنا الحق حقا وارزقنا اتباعه وأرنا الباطل باطلا ولا تجعلنا أتباعه اللهم ربنا إنا نسألك خير المسألة وخير الدعاء وخير النجاة اللهم ربنا ثبتنا وثقل موازيننا وارفع درجاتنا وتقبل دعاءنا اللهم ربنا إنا نسألك خير ما سألك منه عبدك ونبيك محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم عبادك الصالحون ونعوذ بك من كل شر استعاذك منه عبدك ونبيك محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم عبادك الصالحون أنت المستعان وعليك البلاغ ولا حول ولا قوة إلا بالله والحمد لله رب العالمين.